Hi guys, this is Nene, aka Soulstar Divine Feminine. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am just cleansing and saging, or cleansing this space with rosemary, dried rosemary, some of my rosemary smudge stick, which is cleansing, prosperous, and protection. So once again, if you guys would like to order or purchase any of my rosemary bundles, my rosemary smudge sticks, I'm also selling rosemary tea, cinnamon bundles, bay leaf bundles, loose bay leaf as well. I have so much bay leaves for your manifestations, for your cleansing, for your protection. Oh my gosh, for prosperity, for bringing in more moolah. If any of you guys would like to purchase any of those, the links to that will be in the description, or of course you can just email me and be like, yo, I want to have cinnamon bundle, I want to have a bay leaf smudge stick, and I also want some loose bay leaves. How much, girl? And then I'll email you back. You can email me at soulstardivinefeminine@gmail.com. You guys can probably hear the rain in the background. It's extremely dark. It is raining like crazy. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it is so freaking dark. And I need to have some air in this room, not just because I was burning stuff, but because when I channel, I get extremely hot. So sorry if the rain is a bit distracting. I think for me at least, the rain is really relaxing, like the sound of it dripping. So I'm hoping that you guys are also finding it relaxing too. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. And the tea I'm drinking is fresh natural green tea and fresh lemongrass. I also sell real green tea and real lemongrass too. So if you guys would like to purchase any of my herbs or even some of my plants, I'm selling like loads and loads of green pepper plants. Oh my gosh, I'm selling so many green pepper plants. I'm also selling money jade plants for more prosperity, bringing in more abundance. I've got a few coins in my own money plant that I have right here. You can see some of the coins in there. Just bringing in that moolah, attracting what I want in my life. I'm selling so many herbs, so many plants, so many bundles. And the last thing I forgot to mention in all the rest of my videos is, you guys know I work with essential oils all the time, and I'm now starting to sell my own rollers. This is my own one, so I didn't bother putting a label on it, but yours would come with a gorgeous label and some instructions. So this one I have, this one has cinnamon oil, it has lang lang, and it also has sandalwood as well. Oh, so good. So if you guys want any essential oil rollers to help you with your aromatherapy, to help you with meditation, anxiety, bringing about balancing your heart chakra, your sacral chakra, all your chakras really, or if you want it to attract more love, more money, more happiness, more clarity, I do all these different essential oil packages to facilitate all of your needs. So if you guys would like any of those, hopefully my shop will be up and running by the time you see this video. But once again, if it's not, then just email me whilst I'm working on my website. And of course, if any of you watching are good at building websites, then please holler at me. Holler at me, please holler at me, because I need some help. Anyways, my baby's in the background, so you might hear him faintly. He's trying to hide in the corner right now. He's listening and doing some of his own channeling. So let's see what's going on today. So today I've got a requested video from a beloved subscriber, a new subscriber. So thank you so much, beautiful soul. And she has requested for me to do a channeled message on Charlie Puth. She originally saw my Jeffree Star channeled messages when I channeled him. So if you guys haven't seen when I did my first channeled message psychic reading for a celebrity, aka Jeffree Star, then check that out. The link to that will be in the description right at the top. But today I'm going to be channeling Charlie Puth, and I do have to say, when she first said to me Charlie Puth, I was like, wait, who is that? I have no idea who Charlie Puth is. That's not a name that I interact with, that I hear about. I honestly didn't know who the hell it was. And I've had to do a little bit of research and I was looking at pictures of him and I was like, still don't know who this is. I don't know, haven't got a clue. And then I saw an article coming up with Charlie Puth and his girlfriend saying the "We Don't Talk Anymore" singer, blah 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 blah. I was like, wait a second, is it that song that I know about? We don't talk anymore, do do. And I was like, wait, is that? I know that song. I'm pretty sure I've heard that on adverts. And then of course, lo and behold, it is that same person. So I've just been listening to them. I won't play it now because, you know, copyright. But yeah, I don't really know Charlie Puth from anywhere. I remember hearing that song on those adverts, and that's pretty much the extent of it. But we're going to channel Charlie Puth today and see what kind of messages is going on. I know that my subscriber was also interested in to find out if Charlie Puth's partner is their twin flame, so we're going to see if we can divulge into that right now. I'm just going to meditate and channel into these messages Oh, okay, so that one's the first card that came out, Love Abounds. Okay, cool. So let's see what's going on with Charlie. But yeah, once I finish meditating and shuffling these cards, because I don't really think you guys want to see me shuffling all of my cards on camera or channeling messages in the way that I get them, because that's still, like, to the ego, it kind of just looks weird the way I channel sometimes. Even though I'm sure some of my subscribers have seen some uncut versions of me. By the way, in case you didn't see that, that's said rest and reconsider. So I'm going to be channeling from spirit intuitively as a psychic medium, as well as using cards for clarification. And I'll get back to you, or you guys will see me in the next 2 seconds when I'm ready to start. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Comment down below right here, right now, what you want to see next, because on my channel I typically had done twin flame readings for like the dawn of time for the last year, and I then took a long time off, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to just be only limited to that. I'm kind of just broken free of those labels, and I've been doing a lot more zodiac readings. I've been doing a lot more spell work. If you guys have just recently seen my last video that I put up, was the powerful benefits of burning bay leaves. I've got a bay leaf spell that's about to hit you guys any second now, because it's already up. I'm waiting for it to click the public button. I've got a bay leaf spell so you can attract a lot of money fast. I've got a lot more spells and benefits of like herbs like rosemary, sage, money plants, aloe vera. I've still got to do my video on how aloe vera healed my third degree burns when I had my bike accident when I was in Bali, and I was in so much pain, which you guys would have seen some of that in the Jeffree Star video at the start in my intro when I was wearing my bloody kimono. And then on top of that, I'm going to be doing a lot more missing case children's reports to help raise more awareness to missing cases, so that we can try and find justice for these people and hopefully try and get them back home by building a community and more awareness of these people's faces, their story, who's interacting with them, when they were last seen, etc., etc. Because there's a lot of children that are missing all over the world, but especially in London right now. I've been seeing so many more missing cases coming up on social media. So I know there's more awareness about it already, but there's always a need for more awareness of these things, especially people in my area that have gone missing, that I'm like, okay, I keep showing me and my partner the same faces to be like, okay, let's make sure when we're out, we have that in our subconscious, so if we see anyone that looks familiar, we can call up. So I'm doing a whole array of videos. On top of that, I've decided that I'm going to start putting in little manifestation inspirational vlogs here and there of me and my life traveling with my partner, because we've done so many inspirational videos for our vlog channel that we're still catching up with, but we want to put some of it, I want to put some of this on here. I think you guys would be interested in seeing, you know, our spiritual morning routines, how we interact, what we do to help ourselves balance out, traveling, inspiration, and doing a lot more law of attraction techniques like the water cup method, how I do my sigils, how I do my scripting, my affirmations and stuff like that, what helps me to really channel, and also quantum leaping. I have been doing quantum leaping like crazy over the last 2 weeks, and it first started off when I first started really connecting to light language and started channeling my own light language. As you guys have seen, I've done 1 light language transmission on this channel so far, so let me know what you guys think of this new content. I don't want to limit myself anymore. I don't want to only stick to doing one thing on one channel, because it's like I'm not really growing or showing all parts of me. And I know that you can have like a brand of like, oh, they always do this or they always do that, but I'm so versatile, and I have so many things that I'm interested in, and I already have about 3 YouTube channels running so far, that it's like I want to showcase a lot more onto each channel, but especially this one, because my SoulStar Divine Feminine page is like empowerment, manifestation, getting into your real self, your inner world, like cultivating it, mastering it, loving it, releasing it, freeing yourself. So I know that by showing you more of what I've been doing, it's going to help you guys so much more than just a twin flame card reading would. It's like there's so much more to life than just one solo thing, and I want to be able to showcase a lot of my spiritual, physical, ascension, expansion self with you guys, because expansion is important. It's not always about going up, it's also about broadening your horizons as well. So expansion is key. I just want to say that for any of you guys who just only focus on ascension, like actually focus on expansion as well, or just let it naturally flow in. Really, don't even focus on it, just let it naturally flow in. Anyways, that was probably the longest intro of my life. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish channeling these messages and I'll get back to you soon. Hi guys, so I am back. I am ready to do this reading. There's a lot of messages that have come out for Charlie and his partner, and his partner actually came out first. Sorry, my laptop just made a sound. I'm just gonna put it on silent. Okay, yeah, his partner actually came out first with messages about what she's going through currently, in regards to the relationship and connection with Charlie, and his messages came out and there were a lot of clarifications. Spirit guided me to use, I think this is the Life Purpose Oracle deck, just in case any of you guys are interested in the tarot cards that I use. And I'm using John Holland Psychic Tarot for the Heart, and also Atlantis Oracle card deck. So that is the cards that I'm using. So yeah, we're gonna get started first with Charlie's partner. I don't actually know what her name is, and I'm saying her because one, the energy feels extremely feminine, and two, when I researched him earlier, it looks like he is going out with female, and of course we have both masculine and feminine energy inside all of us, and sometimes one is more dominant than the other until we learn how to balance, which is funny because the balance card has come out, the energy of him trying to really balance his lifestyle. I think this rise to fame happened so quickly that it kind of shot him through another stratosphere, and he just had to like go along with it, almost like Justin Bieber style, like where it's just like, oh my gosh, suddenly this is all here and I have to just like roll with it. And I think he's now trying to find some more time and peace for himself, where he doesn't have people talking to him every single second of the day, demanding, because it kind of feels, he feels extremely fragile. His energy feels very fragile right now. I feel like I'm connecting with his inner child, and he's kind of just like almost like huddled or cuddled up in a corner, like by himself, like I kind of just want to like figure out who I am and what I'm doing right now mentally and emotionally before anyone asks me to like go on tour, do this cover for this album and do this photo shoot and go here and get paparazzi everywhere I go, and I just want to go out and have something to eat without people staring at me or ready to bring out their phones. It kind of just feels like he's trying to protect his true core values and his heart, his most inner world that is the most fragile and vulnerable, like the most vulnerable part of him. Even though it feels like he shared a lot of his vulnerable side through his music, it's like when he was making a lot of those songs, especially when because it feels like he's taking me back to the start, like back to the start of before he became who you know him to be today. And it's like he's showing me it was so natural, and it was such a healthy way of him expressing in a creative manner and really allowing himself to not only feel these feelings but also channel them in a way that he could turn it into a high vibration, like turning dark to light, like dust to gold. And it just felt so euphoric, and it feels like it feels like he felt like this was just natural therapy, like happiness. He wasn't forcing it, it was just like in flow, like completely. But that's how it was before he became famous. And even though like the success and everything has been great, it's like now when he's trying to get into the zone of channeling his messages that he's going to put into his music and the way he's going to create it and the tempos and the beats and the structure of how the symphony is and like what kind of frequency it's in, because as you guys will, or maybe you don't know, but most of the time the music industry, you know, when it's like, I don't know what I can say on a YouTube video because I don't know if YouTube and Google are going to be like, no, you can't say this, because they really do monitor and really try and filter out truth speakers a lot of the time. Even saying that, I don't know if that'll get me in trouble, quote unquote, but a lot of the music industry, a lot of the time, they basically change the songs into 4/4 hertz, which isn't a natural frequency, and it's a frequency that can really program your subconscious in a way that they can basically implant you and coerce you into ways of thinking and feeling for their own agenda, for their own advantage, rather than the natural frequency of our real bodies. And I'm hearing that because I'm hearing that he wants to work with certain different frequencies and tones and sounds, but his record label and the way that the public is and how the system is right now, especially in Hollywood, isn't necessarily going to allow him that kind of freedom. But he's also showing me, oh my gosh, what was that? How do I understand that? He was showing me, okay. He was showing me that now when he's trying to get into the zone to channel and create this energy, this force, this music, this healing, this love, this light, this expression, this honesty, it's he almost feels like he's forcing himself to try and get back to that space. It's like now there's an expectations, there's many expectations of him, and there's a lot of pressure on him from outside sources, from his managers, his record labels, his assistants, but also him, because he's in this position now where he's already a success, he's already a name, he's already a brand, and now he feels a lot of pressure on himself to create the same kind of boom effect, because when he came out with that song went viral. It went everywhere, like it went absolutely everywhere. That was his rise to fame, and he's trying to get more in touch with himself in a way where he doesn't feel all of this pressure from inside his own mental conflict and from all the outside world. But it's already, this journey has already, what's the right way to put it, it's already affected his own well-being in a way that he couldn't necessarily foresee without actually experiencing this already, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Let me just have some tea. Okay, so wow, so I'm gonna start with Charlie. Yeah, we'll leave his love interest for the end, I think, because I think what's coming through from her through these cards will make a lot more sense once I've gone through his stuff anyway. But as I said, the first card, one of the cards, sorry, that he drew straight away, this was the first card that his spirit drew, is balance, masculine and feminine energy, really trying to get in touch with himself in a much more healthier way. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. I feel like, I know I'm looking at the card, but I actually feel like I'm looking at his eyes. Like, I feel like his soul was just looking at me through his eyes. I swear, sometimes when I channel you guys, it's like a Charmed episode or something like that, or a medium episode where I see something completely, like, egoically in my third eye, my mind's eye, but first eye, but also in my human eyes. I literally, like, see Charlie Puth's face on this card. But then if I show you guys, you're like, oh, that's just an illustration of another guy. That's sometimes when I channel, it's like I literally see it like they show in Medium, like they show in Charmed, like they show in Lost Girl, or all of these shows, The Craft. Like, wow, it's trippy as balls. But anyways, so this is just kind of confirmation of what I was saying. But there's also I'm hearing family a lot. Like, I think he misses spending time with his family. I'm hearing his mum. He wants to spend a lot of time connecting with his mum, or reconnecting with his mum. He wants to spend time alone where he can just talk to her, and it doesn't even feel like it's physical. It actually feels like his way of almost coping has become him trying to have some time by himself and spiritually talking out loud. But it almost feels like mumbling, like whispering to his mum's soul. Like, it feels like he'll speak to his mum, but it's actually more of him speaking to her soul when he's in a room physically by himself, you know, physically, like in his human avatar, because obviously we're spirits having a human experience. There's so many spirits all around us. We're all energy. There are thousands of things going on around us all the time, but our minds can only comprehend like 1% of it. So, but it feels like he likes to talk out loud to himself, but especially like the spirit or the soul of his mum. It's not necessarily him needing to go and speak to her physically, but this helps him to balance out his feminine energy, his vulnerability, his loving, his care, and he's trying to facilitate ways in which he can give himself the kind of reprieve that he is trying to figure out that he needs, because he knows that he's been quite unbalanced for some time, especially with the way that his career just literally skyrocketed, and he's grateful for it. Like, he's ridiculously grateful and humbled, because I feel a very, very humbled energy from him. But it's also like, it's also like he doesn't really know how to be him anymore. Yeah, I'm telling you, my mind is just kind of like, I feel such an overwhelming sense of gratitude and humbleness, of like, wow, like, you know, I don't have to worry about bills, I get to express myself, I get to sing, I get to travel the world, blah 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 blah, recognition, like all those kind of ego things mixed with a bit of the soul's happiness. But it feels like such an underlying layer of like, we don't talk anymore, but like to the real me, like, we don't talk anymore. Like, I need to try and talk to myself again. Like, I need to try and find myself again. Like, how do I be me again? Like, who, I don't even know where that me went. Was that, it's almost like he's been this journey catapulted him so quickly that he became a different person straight away to try and cope with it. And now he's trying to peel back those layers again of trying to figure out who he really is in his new world. I just keep hearing that there's a real need for him to try and spend time by himself. I feel like even though he's in love, because I feel that strongly, like my heart chakra is like boom 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 boom. It feels like one of those cartoon hearts that like go oonga, like literally that's how it feels. Yeah, there's a real need for him to spend some time alone. It almost feels like he doesn't really know how to go about that communication wise with his partner or with some of his friends, colleagues. It's like he kind of wants to just take an open-ended trip somewhere. I don't know why, but I feel like Sweden or maybe Iceland. I feel like somewhere that's rural and like really, like Swedish people are just like so open-minded and euphoric and sensual, and they have great fashion and like all the trees, and oh, when it snows, and oh, it just feels like that kind of vibe, like Sweden or possibly Iceland, like somewhere like that. He kind of wants to just like go on like a trip with him, with his inner child, by himself, kind of open-ended. But I don't think he's really allowed himself to say that out loud. I think he's kind of cautious and scared of how people may react. What is next? Let's see. Oh, dreams coming true. Okay, I think he's working on the music for a movie. Okay, I'm hoping you guys can confirm this in the comments, because as I said, I don't know Adam, like I don't know anything about Charlie Puth apart from just discovering he's the guy that sings We Don't Talk Anymore, which I've only heard on adverts, and I saw one article with him and his girlfriend, like I think on a boat or something like that, and that's all I know apart from what spirit and what his spirit is channeling through me right here right now. So whether this has come out or not, or whether it's due to come out, either way, let me know in the comments. It might be happening in the future, because you know, a lot of the time when people are working on projects, it's kind of hush hush until they're ready to fully showcase it out into the world. Wow, that feels really strong though. But I think the first thing I'm about to say is about to come out soon though. Over the course of the next 6 to 8 months, maybe. Yeah, over the next 6 months, it feels like. Okay, so dreams coming true. So Charlie, it feels like he's in the talks and in the works of connecting with other directors, another musical artist. I just see him going to a different type of studio that he's never gone to before because he's in connections with the director. Oh, Baba, you okay? Sorry, my baby's trying to lie down and stay off camera. What was I saying? He's my God, oh, he is in connection with like a director because it feels like he's working on music for a movie. I think he's doing a couple of tracks. It almost feels like, you know, if when Adele was working on music for James Bond type thing, it feels like he's working on a few different tracks for a movie. But I think he's getting more into the creative flow of this new experience alongside this new pressure, which is why he's trying to balance himself out and really trying to still be him and let he doesn't want all of these false layers and these false masks that he's had to put on to protect himself in this whirlwind of a life that he suddenly started experiencing. He doesn't want that to damage him or harm, like basically harm the real true Charlie. So it feels like he's working on music for a movie, possibly a TV show as well, because I feel like he's composing a few different songs that have a different vibe, and he's trying to like be like, oh well, this can go well with this scene. So it might be a couple of songs for the same movie. But then I was also seeing in my head some sort of connection with some sort of like spoken word artist or poetry. But I think he might be doing a duet with somebody who writes really, really good songs or writes a lot of great spoken word or poetry, and he does a collaboration with them. I feel like the stuff he's working on is going to be so different for him in his internal world, but to the outside it might just look like a natural progression, if you get what I'm saying. Like when you go through a massive change internally, it's such a huge profound thing for you, but it's the outside world, they're like, oh yeah, like cool, yeah, that's really good. I feel like for him it's such a big thing. I think he's connecting with somebody that he's always kind of had an eye on, that he'd always wished and dreamed that he could work with, but he never really thought it could necessarily happen, because it really feels like this is something that his inner child, his teenage self, has always really truly wanted, which is why he's trying to be in the best like mindset and emotional space that he can be, so he can do a good job and feel like he's actually not only earned this, but also feel like afterwards, okay, I did the best I could. I think he's going to continue really thriving and getting a lot more, much bigger than he can even fathom, to be honest. Because I see him winning awards, or at least being nominated. I see him being nominated for awards. I really do feel like he's going to be going to some sort of movie premiere, and he's done the music for a movie and the movie does really well. It really does feel like that. I think he's trying to find a more quiet time in his mind so that he can really get clear on what it is he's channeling, what it is he wants to put out into the universe, rather than management and record labels telling him, we need you to make a song like this. Like, it's like he's really trying to zone in on himself. And I'm seeing this here because when I did the Life Purpose Oracle cards, the first card that came out was actually this one, Justice. Yeah, like justice. Your career brings fairness and protection to the others who need help. And extra confirmation from Spirit, from the Atlantis Oracle card deck, the Justice card came out here. Truth prevails in the end. So I don't know, I'm seeing like a documentary or something that he could be working on, or doing something different that is outside of music, but it kind of relates, like almost like I don't know where he's from. Like, I feel like I should have researched where he's from. It feels like I can see him connecting with people who are kind of like living a rough life or in the slums or something like that. Or possibly his own hometown. I feel like he's going to be connecting with people and like sharing with them his music as a way of showcasing and sharing light and healing and like helping them. I don't know, it's just like I feel like he's connecting with a lot of people right now that's pushing him to really step more into his soul's mission. That's more than just having, you know, big viral songs. Like there's so much more to him that he hasn't even shown himself. I feel like he's going on that ascension and expansion path right now. Yeah, it feels like there's someone that's connected to him in his blood relative line, in his family tree. He's also like his success is helping him to acquire more justice for this situation that happened in the past. You know, it almost feels like, it doesn't feel like immediate family. It almost feels like a distant cousin or possibly like a granddad or something like that, or maybe a grandma. I feel like there's something, it's like niggling away at me, like something, like something like, you know, somebody wanted to be an artist or a singer and they couldn't do it because they had to deal with some really horrible situations, or they were in the war, or they had to be, you know, a working mom or something like that. Where he's starting to feel his own, like he's starting to feel justified with his actions and his success now, but it really does feel like he's going to be connecting with a lot of people and doing some sort of documentary or series, or just actually doing it, maybe even without cameras, maybe just people Instagramming it, because I see people like with video cameras on their phone. It feels like he's going to be, do you know what it's like? It kind of reminds me of Princess Diana, I'm not even going to lie. It really reminds me of Princess Diana, like how she would go and connect with people, and get on their level and inspire them and make them feel heard and seen, by someone of a royal status, by someone of a higher class status. It kind of feels like that. I think he's going to be branching out quite a lot, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be heavily advertised, because I don't really think his record label is really about that life. It kind of feels like his record label just wants him to like push out content, make us money, which is why he's trying to balance himself out, and that's making a lot more sense as to why this is coming up alongside it, about his purpose, his life purpose, freedom. You're free to do what you choose. Like, yeah, it really, oh wow, it really feels like the energy from this is so strong right now, and I know the rain is getting heavier and heavier, so I really hope you guys can hear me. This energy is strong, like wow. I'm getting so hot right now, this is crazy. I don't think I said, or maybe I did say, but when I channel I get really, really hot because there's so many spirits channeling through me, or the energy is just so strong. I don't know which one it is, but I'm legit like sweating and burning up from the inside. The energy from this is so strong, like he really wants to do exactly what he wants to do. It's almost like he's taking the stepping stones of getting back to himself in this new reality, like I was saying, because it feels like he's reminding himself that he doesn't have to do stuff just because people are telling him, or they may have helped him to advertise his music, blah 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 blah. They had a purpose, they helped you out, but they don't dictate your life. And I think he's felt very dictated by paparazzi, by family, by friends, by his partner, by his colleagues, by his management, by his assistants, by his record label, like by the system, by Hollywood, by this fame, by like it's just constant. So it almost feels like he's trying to find that trip, like I said, to go into this like, oh wow, to go into this like hibernation mode almost, of really cultivating everything he's manifesting within, and it's going to start showcasing itself as a reflection of his outside world, because you know everything that's inside you is reflected on the outside, as above so below, as within so without. wow, there's a large part of him that misses the way that he used to make music. Like, before anyone knew who he was, how freeing it was to have that experience of making music without the pressure, because it really feels like he's trying to get back to this new freedom, or finding his freedom again, and claiming it for his own, like claiming his own identity, and allowing himself to continue to expand, and using his platform to, it's almost like he's creating more of a healing community, or an inspired community, using his platform as a way, using his voice as a way, using his talents as a musician as a way forward. Because I'm telling you, my third eye's going crazy, and it really does feel like he's almost like on an Atlantis miracle mission. Like, I feel like he's definitely from Atlantis. Possibly planet Sirius, or star Sirius, sorry, not planet. It just feels like this is only the very beginning for him, and he's already having to learn how to kind of do like Neo in the Matrix, and like jump and go around different places to avoid Agent Smith, like to avoid these people trying to control him and manipulate him, and still continue to go on his own ascension and expansion path, and get to the space where he's freed himself, he's saved Zion, he's turned into a star, he's turned into the sun. And if you guys haven't ever watched The Matrix, then you probably have no idea what the hell I just said, but he's really claiming this for himself. And I think he's becoming aware. It almost feels like kind of a little bit paranoid as well. Or no, and I'm not saying he's paranoid, but he kind of feels like he might. The way he's saying it to me is like, he's having these thoughts about certain people that are friends and colleagues in his life, and he's like, oh, you know, I don't really think that they're doing this for my sake. I think they're probably just trying to get this from me, or doing this from me. Oh, no, that's just paranoid. That's just paranoid. Like, that's how he's saying it to me. He's like thinking that he's having paranoid thoughts. Because he's kind of concerned or bewildered by some people's behavior in his circles, and he's starting to think that there might be handlers. And if you guys don't know what handlers are, the best way I can describe it would be, there are certain people that are placed in your life. Sometimes they're placed in your life your whole life, from even before birth, especially if you're someone like Aaliyah or Madeleine McCann. And then there are other times when people are placed in your life. It could be for 6 years, 6 months, whatever. The time frame has no relevance, but they're handlers because they're watching you, they're observing you, they're reporting your behavior to a higher power, to a higher force, people higher up in control, and they're coercing you or manipulating you in ways subconsciously on a very, very subtle level a lot of the time, to fall in line with their own agenda. And if you start stepping too far out of that agenda, the agenda's here, and if you're going all the way there, they will tend to try and rally in the troops to try and get you back on track. They might do that with mind control, hypnosis. They might do that with drugs, alcohol. I mean, they do it in many different ways. They might do it with the public embarrassment. They do it in very, very different ways. But he's starting to, and this feels like it's something that, wow, I just saw a gigantic blue dot in front of my face. Let me know down below if you guys ever see blue dots, please. Me and my partner see them all the time. Some people say they're angels, some people say they're not, some people say it's the electromagnetic spectrum, some other people say it's just another type of geometric pattern because we're all made of geometrical codes. I don't know, I haven't summed up in my mind what I think that is, but I just saw one gigantic one right there when I looked up. But he's starting to think just with himself, like, I don't necessarily trust these people's intentions. His intuition is starting to kick in a lot more, which is helping him to coerce himself, this new version of him that he's trying to understand, love, appreciate, and trying to balance out, of who really has his back and who really doesn't. because he knows that the position he's in now, there's a lot of people trying to take from him. Everyone has agendas. Like, no matter what in life, everyone has an agenda. Some people have an agenda to spread love and light to the world. Some people have an agenda to make loads of money and then spread love and light to the world. Other people have an agenda to be a famous, world-renowned actress. Other people have an agenda to have kids and just have a nice little family and a nice little cottage with their man. Like, everyone has agendas, and he's starting to realize that some people's agendas aren't necessarily in line with what his soul's truth is, what his real heart is telling him. And he doesn't want to limit himself by, just because this may be his rise to fame, he doesn't want to limit himself thinking that that's all he has to do, like just stay in that lane. Like, he can go many different directions, different paths, and even circle back around to how he first started out. So this Justice card, again, it's just like extra confirmation. But I'm also saying for him that there's karma coming up. Life is a mystical mirror. Now, loads of people have many different experiences and explanations on what karma is and what its purpose is. And some people don't even believe in karma at all and think it's just a man-made egotistical thing. Regardless of what you believe, everything is a mirror. Like, everything you interact with is a mirror. That's what I believe. Sorry, that's what I believe. I think everything is a mirror. Everything is a reflection. And sometimes the reflections you see are ones that don't resonate with you at all, and it's a reminder that you don't need to be in that location, that energy, that circle of people, friends, family, etc., etc. And other times it's showcasing to you stuff you need to work on yourself, on a subconscious level, whatever. Let's see what's going on with Charlie. Wow. Okay, that just felt like, I've never picked up the karma card and felt that much peace before. This guy has done some next work. Like, I feel like he's done some next heart chakra opening, balancing out, sacral chakra. Like, they feel like fully intact. It feels more like his crown chakra and his earth chakra, his earth star chakra, and his SoulStar chakra. It feels like those are the things that are trying to really balance out. I'm seeing from this, like, his life that we see here now. Once again, I've only seen like one article, one music video, but all the messages I need are always in spirit. So from what you guys, or the collective of us, have seen so far from his life and his success, it really feels like in another life, and I'll just call it past life for reference, but I don't think past lives are necessarily, you know, a life I lived and then I died, and then I died, and then I was born, and then I came into this world as NEENEE SoulStar, as you see here. I think all lives, there are many simultaneous lives going on all at the same time. So my past life, my future life, my life when I'm still in Bali, my life when I'm still in the van, my life when I'm still living in Barcelona. For those who didn't know, I travel all the time, or I have been up until recently. I think all of our lives are simultaneously going on all at the same time. So even right now, there's World War II. Even right now, there's slavery. Even right now, 9/11 is just happening today. Like, I feel and I believe that there are multiple different variations and realities of us, because we live in a multiverse type of illusion, system, experience, or reality, whatever. But I'll use the word past so it's easier for you guys to understand. But it feels like in a past life, he was more like a jazz musician, because I'm seeing him with a trumpet. No, is it trumpet? No, saxophone. Okay, yeah, saxophone. Thank you, Spirit. I'm seeing him with a saxophone, and it looks like he's like almost like a leader, or trying to be a lead saxophone player in like this jazz band, almost like 40s, 50s style. And he's wearing like a really dapper like blazer. Do you know what he looks like? Oh my gosh, synchronicity. Thank you. Once again, if you guys haven't seen this movie, you won't understand this reference, but in Back to the Future, the first one, when Marty McFly is bye, you'll never know. Anyways, when Marty McFly is going to the high school prom or dance, I think, and he's trying to get his parents to get together, because if his parents don't get together, he can't exist, blah 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 blah. There's that band that's playing, and they're all playing saxophones and trumpets and guitars, and they're wearing like these proper dapper blazers. I think they might have a bow tie, possibly not. And Marty goes on stage and he starts playing, I think he plays electric guitar and does this solo, and everyone's like, what the hell, because they've never heard the sound before. But regardless, I'm seeing Charlie Puth like dressed in that kind of way, like that old school, like 50s, 60s, maybe even 40s musician, like on a jazz band. And it feels like there was some conflict going on then. And he was trying to become the lead player and he was trying to branch out so that he could have a solo career, but he felt those are restrictions. There are a lot of people controlling him, a lot of people manipulating him, a lot of people basically limiting him, telling him he could never be what he truly was, and he would only get so far. And I'm seeing that because I feel like in the other lives that he's had, in many other lives, he's been a musician, but in just very different ways. And I feel like this time, this karma, this mystical mirror, is he's actually being able to get what he always desired in that life, or what he always thought he desired in that life, because sometimes the things we want are never what we really, really want or what we really need. But it feels like he's getting what he wanted from that life, and he's getting the justice and the karma and the reflection of basically what he truly thought he wanted in that life, and he's getting the reflection of that now in this reality, and still having to then deal with the fact that, oh, actually having this does come with so many other things that I never even foresaw or never even thought of, because you can only really see from the outside until you get into it. Like, there's only X amount of things you can fathom. Like, if you were like, oh, you know, I want to be a famous singer, okay, I know I'll have to deal with the paparazzi. Yeah, I'll get to go on Graham Norton, I'll get to go on Jules Holland, I'll get to go on Jimmy Kimmel, and, you know, paparazzi, I'll have millions of followers, I'll get to tour, be on stage. I know some people may make up bullshit rumors about me, blah blah blah, but, you know, I'll be living my best life, make loads of money, singing my heart out. And that's typically what you'd see from the outside view. And even though he got to see a lot, because I feel like he got to see a lot for the lead singers in that time when he was playing like the saxophone. I feel like he played the piano as well, no, the keyboard as well. I don't know if he plays any instruments in this life. I'm not sure. I really should have checked. But it feels like he saw a lot behind the scenes in that life, but he still didn't really contextualize how much it can affect your well-being. And in this life, he's getting what he really wanted from that life, but he's experiencing how much more there is. Like, it's not just paparazzi following you. Like, how much does it affect your mental health when you're going to a petrol station, you're trying to get petrol or gas, and you're trying to just go on a nice, like, romantic trip with your partner? How does it affect you when you're going to a restaurant to go meet up with your family members? How does it affect you when you can no longer just get on a plane without everyone knowing your face or name? Or it's just so many different things. And then it's also the peer pressure of him having this platform and wanting to try and do something good with it, but also still trying to stick to himself. It's like he's truly experiencing this now. And I feel like this is something he's always asked for, always dreamt of, and it was destined in this reality, in this life. It feels very like this is fated, like this is a destined experience for him thus far. And the last card we have is the miracle. We are the miracle of one. Wow, this is so beautiful. Ooh, this really feels like he's coming more into his soul's truth. I'm telling you, it feels like he's on some next Atlantis mission, or possibly like Star Sirius. Feels like he's truly coming home to himself. He's starting to understand that as difficult as the temporary challenges may be, he's starting to understand a lot more that he can create exactly what he wants from his own thoughts, from his own mind. I don't even think he uses I don't know why I always repeat myself like that. I don't even think he uses the terms like law of attraction or manifestation, blah, 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 blah. However, I think intuitively he's starting to understand that and getting more into his own strength of really respecting, understanding, and acting on his intuition, his higher self, his soul's truth, whatever you want to label it. He's becoming the miracle, the peace seeker, the oracle, the seer that he seeks. He's becoming that. This feels like some real rapid integration, like his DNA codes are upgrading. And his truth is really being revealed to himself. And it's also being revealed not just in a raw, unfiltered way, but it feels like it's coinciding with his insight, his sensitivity, his creativity. I feel like he's getting a lot more sensitive to energies right now. Like when he goes out or when he's around certain people, like his physical body, like his emotions, like he can feel like, oh, this is not a vibration I want to be around. This is not an energy I want to be around. Even though the person is saying nice stuff, they are nice themselves, but he's starting to feel their energy a lot more. He's becoming a lot more sensitive. Which is why, oh wow, this is what just came out. I just felt guided to shuffle. Detach and observe. Yeah, he's definitely this is why it feels like he's going on that trip, or why he wants to go on this trip, to be by himself completely and really get clear, or with no distractions, not even from his partner, like no distractions whatsoever, of really hearing his own voice without everyone else's voices in his head. It's actually really beautiful because it just feels like he's becoming whole, and becoming the master of his reality. That's really what it feels like. Wow, look at that dove being freed. Like, I just love that. But let's move on to his partner. I wish I got his partner's name. Let's see. Oh, okay, my laptop doesn't want to turn on right now. Doesn't matter. Do you know what? I don't need to know her name. These are the cards I am getting for her though. Love Abounds. Are they together right now? Okay, that's definitely a big yes. They're definitely together right now. Oh, this is so nice. Okay, I know that my subscriber wanted to know if these people are twin flames. No, I'm not getting. Yeah, I don't see a twin flame connection. They're definitely soulmates. Do you know what? This person that he's with right now, it feels like they were together in another life or past life. But it's definitely like a loving, more whole to begin with, soulmate love. It's a divine love. It really is. It's actually a really divine love. There doesn't feel like the twin flame scenario of typically where somebody has to, like, you know, go through extreme amount of ego death and peeling 5 gazillion layers and or separating or arguing and blah blah blah. It doesn't feel like that kind of intense, like as intense type of energy, but this does feel like a really more well-rounded, like already kind of almost completely whole type of love to begin with. Because a lot of the time twin flames are like they're both broken, they get together, then they break each other even more, and then they go, or they try and stick together, and then they have to then rebuild themselves, blah blah blah. It felt like she came in and she was already quite good within already, because it just feels like a really caring, like mother loving, just quite complete energy that she has. And she really sees him for who he is and who he's becoming. And her love feels very unconditional and open-minded and open-ended, and she doesn't put him on a pedestal like a lot of people around them do. She feels very grounded, at least up until recently. She really does love him. She trusts him. I think they're very good at picking up on each other's cues and expressions, not just because, oh, you know, when you spend some time with somebody, you pick up on their habits. I mean, like, intuitively. I feel like she picks up on him telepathically almost. But once again, I don't think they would necessarily use that kind of language. Yeah, see, that's what just came out. Crown chakra. Thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. Yeah, her crown chakra is definitely clear when it comes to him and this connection. I think she likes doing her own thing in her own right, in her own way. So she's still filling her own cup and not just filling his, or not just getting her cup filled by him. It's like she's much better at, once again, up until recently, balancing herself and keeping herself whole or complete and alongside him, and, you know, having that support system. They definitely feel like partners. Like, your cup's a bit empty, let me fill it up for you. Your cup's a bit empty, let me fill it up for you. Okay, this time you need to just fill it up yourself. How can I be of assistance to help you? It really feels like a partnership. So a lot of the time when people are in relationships, like couples, every type of connection is a relationship, but a lot of the time when people are in couples, it ends up being really codependent. This feels like she's a lot more, yeah, it just feels a lot more grounded, a lot more whole. She's a lot more speaking her truth. She speaks her truth a lot. She's not afraid to express herself to him or about the ways in which they are being treated. And I think sometimes he takes a while to comprehend that aspect. We've got rest and reconsider as well. Okay, so right now I'm hearing that she might be, or she's almost contemplating on changing or expanding her career, and she's not sure how it's going to affect them and their life. It feels like it feels like her soul is trying to get her to really go into that kind of, once again, hibernation type of grounded energy, like huddling up, going off, getting like a nice home and you know, cultivating the home and renovating the home and just being a homebody for a while and really allowing herself to rest and retreat and rejuvenate herself. But then it's like her mindset, her ego is very attached to certain goals that she wants to reach by a certain time, and traveling and still keeping the platform going. And yeah, there's a real need for her to step back at this time and just allow things to present themselves more naturally. And it feels like she can see herself with Charlie for basically forever. Like she sees him, she sees herself, she sees that she could be with him forever or for a long time. Like when she thinks about the way she feels about him, it feels like, yeah, this is definitely a long-term love. And it's like she's trying to figure out how to best be with herself, trying to expand, but not giving in to worry and fear, because she knows that their schedules could easily tear them apart. And she doesn't want that. So she's trying to avoid it and trying to figure out what the best way is, where she can do what she needs to do for herself, but then also keep this in a more loving, happy, balanced energy, because a lot of the time their schedules sometimes it really affects their communication. And then we have this, giving and receiving. Wow, okay, this is strong. So her soul is trying to get her, or her higher self is trying to get her to recognize that one, to take a step back, two, that she doesn't have to do every single thing because she's this mother giving loving energy, three, to grow within this current situation like Mother Crone, actually allow these things to come forefront, like actually allow these experiences to unfold, these manifestations that they've created in their minds already, because everything you're experiencing right now is a creation of your past thoughts, because you guys are always manifesting, or we're always manifesting 24/7. And it's like her soul's wanting her to allow these things to actually unfold, but step back and allow herself to actually receive a lot more, because she's used to giving, sorting out, looking after, controlling, being the peacemaker, being the truth speaker, like doing a lot, and still being that real grounding energy for Charlie with his crazy life that's expanded over the last few years. But her soul is trying to get her to really step back and allow herself to receive these blessings, to receive these opportunities, to receive this love, to receive this looking after in a way that she hasn't always allowed people to do for her. And when it comes to Charlie, it feels like it's allowing herself to be more received by him rather than giving all the time to him. And it feels like they're both coming into this new balance. It's like this adjusting period. They're trying to adjust to a better balance for both of themselves, and this new energy, this new way of being, this new interacting, this new connection from heart to heart. It almost feels like Charlie sometimes feels like if he didn't have her, he would kind of be lost. And she knows that. And she knows that he feels like that. And she kind of feels the same in her own way. Like, if I didn't have him to look after, what would I be doing? Or it's almost, yeah. It's like they're going through the same thing on different sides of the spectrum. I see them staying together for quite some time. I think there could possibly be a break at some point just because of schedules and stuff, but I don't think it would be a separation. It would be more like, I don't even know if it would be announced either. It would be more like, oh, we won't be able to see each other for the next 7 weeks. Like, don't feel pressure to contact me in this time, or take time out for yourself kind of vibe. That's how it feels. But yeah, okay. Charlie, do you want to say anything else right now? Okay, all I heard was he said he's extremely happy, extremely grateful that he gets to live this life. He loves all of you, and and that he's extremely happy that he gets to connect with you guys in this way. Okay, cool. Well, that was my channeled messages on Charlie Puth. Yeah, definitely pushing myself out my comfort zone to do someone that I haven't even really heard of, and I hope this was entertaining for you guys. I have no idea if it was, but let me know down in the comments if it was, who you'd like me to channel next. If you want a missing case, if you want a celebrity, if you want a zodiac reading, Western or Eastern astrology, if you want some more manifestation stories or some home vlogs, homestead, herbal life, all of that stuff. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I definitely think I should do a video on the power of Orgonite and Orgone energy in general, but that'll be for another video. But I love you guys so much. Remember, you are beautiful, you are divine, you are loved, you are light, you are prosperous, you are abundant. Abundance is your birthright, and claim your power back right now. And I'm sending you so much healing and good vibes. I'm giving you a little bit of Reiki to inspire you for the day whenever you're watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed that Reiki healing, inspiring energy. And don't forget to press subscribe and click the post notification bell so you guys don't miss any uploads, because even if you're subscribed, YouTube won't necessarily show you my videos, and I post all the time now. So please click the post notification bell and tap all, ALL. Make sure you don't miss any uploads. And yeah, if you guys would like any private tarot readings, consultations, I do a lot of healing and accountability packages and coaching now as well, day-to-day coaching, or if you'd like any Reiki consultations, as I said, tarot readings, etc., etc., all of that will be in the description of the information. Contact me at soulstardivinefeminine@gmail.com. And of course, if you'd like any bundles like rosemary, sage, essential oils, rollers, and all of the above, then you can also contact me at soulstardivinefeminine@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out all my other channels. I have a beautiful ASMR channel if you guys are into autosensory meridian response, if you want some tingles, if you're clairaudient or developing your psychic abilities. It's really helped me. And of course, I've got my vlog channel, NEENEESWORLD, which we're going to finally be uploading more vlogs of all of our travels from Barca to Bali to Hemel Hempstead to Brighton to Singapore to Switzerland. Like, we've gone everywhere. So don't forget to click and subscribe to all of those channels. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. Don't forget to check out my man's new channel, Please Don't Teeth the Music, where he is posting loads of amazing musical content. I love you. Bye.